What's up, Nation? Really appreciate you all for tuning in. I love to get feedback from you all. I absolutely do. It's always a way where I can be looking at something and you guys can see something, and it'll be a whole different story and scenario, right? Now, my previous video was talking about Mike McCarthy, that maybe I'm wrong on him. And rightfully so. I'm looking at it like we can look at it in multiple ways. And I said, yeah, let's just count this season as a mulligan. Now, we do have Mike McCarthy apologists. And I'm not saying that you guys are wrong or anything, but what I'm saying is that sometimes when you are in a situation and the pressure cave in on you, maybe, just maybe, your truth can start coming out on you. Now, I know that we was down by 4 points, and it's 4th and 10 on your own 20. Some people that will say, hey, if Cedric Wilson look his head up and just throw the ball in the direction of whoever that was down there streaking down the field, then everybody would have been saying, hey, that's a brilliant play by Mike McCarthy. That's a wonderful play by Mike McCarthy. But they leave out the 4th and inches play. And even if that play was successful, you just do not do it. That's not a football high IQ moment. That's meaning that you're pressuring yourself. You're panicking. You want somebody that can withstand the gauntlet of pressures and not fold. That's all I'm saying. You should not fold. At the end of the day, you are the leader of this team. I know that everything seems as if though it's crashing and burning, but you have to have some stability. You have to put the situation back on your defense and punt that thing deep. You got a punt kicker that's been hell of a good. He's been better than Chris Jones. If there's any glowing spot out there, is that this guy should have Chris Jones' job, even though Chris Jones is going through his injuries. But there should be a Wally Pip situation. And I hate to say it, we love Chris Jones, but we can't fall in love with players, right? So the Hunter, he can flip the field. It's been many of times that we have yet to see that. Anything can happen. Another interception could happen. The momentum of the situation of them, I'm talking about the Washington team, have to drive the ball all the way down the field. Now, I can say this, Cowboy Nation, we can look at it and say, well, it's the pandemic year. He didn't have an OTA. He didn't have training camp. But what I'm looking at, and we used to hold Jason Garrett with that same heat, is that aha moment when you look back at it and say, hey, that was a brilliant decision. We won that game due to coaching. We won that game due to the way the coaches was able to position themselves. Even in a loss, you can look back at it and say, hey, this was a brilliant move by coaching staff. I know we only halfway through this thing and it's take a full 16 weeks. And I'm not the one to say, okay, let's crash and burn it. But I'm just saying that, hey, I'm kind of out of the moment with Mike McCarthy until he showed me something, not just me, but everybody, something that he can command a team, that he can take some things out there and say, okay, Kellen Moore, I understand you're the offensive coordinator, but this is how we're going to do it now. Or this is what we're going to do it now. You know, this is the way we're going to operate this thing now. And I've seen people say, well, Law, why don't you coach the team? I'm not a coach. Look, my truth is this. If I don't know how to do it, I get somebody who know how to do it better. Let me repeat. If I don't know how to do it, I get somebody who can do it better. I'm an analyst at my day job, and when things get so crazy, it's no problem for me to pick up the phone and say, hey, did you see this mass area here? Did you see that crazy number there? That's reasoning, and that's not me stepping out saying that I can do it all. The biggest people and the smartest people always find somebody that's smarter than them that can do something better than them, to put themselves in position where they can succeed. And newsflash, I succeed because of the fact, and then I don't stand up there and say to myself, this is what I've done. The reason why my performance ratings are high is because I say, hey, I reached out to such and such, or I was able to communicate. That shows lines of communication. Admitting that you're wrong and showing stability of humbleness is the strongest character you can ever have within. Admitting yourself that, hey, I was wrong, or I don't know something. Strong character. It's strong character. Now, jokingly, I don't know whether or not it's true or if it's fake. I have to really go back and listen to that interview when he said, nah, I was just trying to get the job. I'm talking about Mike McCarthy. I was just trying to get the job. That's why I said I watched every tape. I was doing this and I was doing that. I was just trying to get the job. He should have said I was down on my luck. My mortgages, all the houses that I had and all of my side pieces was asking for money. And I was down on my luck. Let me go ahead and see if I can lie to kick it to the Joneses. I heard they're a multi-billionaire. They looking for a coach. At least I have a Super Bowl on my resume. I can just lie to kick it for a minute. But when it's time to show your work, when it's time to say, hey, let me see your work. Now, like I said, I'm going to preface everything. You get a mulligan for this year, meaning that he will have to come back next year. And we just remove all what we've seen this year. Just sweep it under the rug. Sweep it all under the rug and say that this year didn't count at all. Now, next year is a whole new year. And I know a lot of people say, Lord, we only one game out. We can win it all the way out, and some losses can happen, and we can be in the playoff. Yeah. That can happen. However, I'm looking at it like this. Okay. We play these last few games out. We count this year as a mulligan. He weed out some of the Jason Garrett players. He weed out some of the Jason Garrett philosophy because that's still within the locker room with the players, what have you. He have a full year. Hopefully, everybody can get beyond this pandemic. I heard the vaccination is out there, but I don't want people to go out there and just get the vaccine because it normally takes 2 to 3 years for clinical trials and all that stuff to go on. And that's a whole nother Law Nation show about that, right? on the repercussions of getting vaccinated. That's a whole nother story. But hopefully something can happen down the line where this pandemic crap can go away and these injuries and all this crazy stuff can go away. And we can get back to football. We can see OTAs, training camp. And we can then grade Mike McCarthy on a real scale. But for right now, I'm looking at him like, dog, I don't really see the football stuff. And it doesn't matter whether or not you have your starters. You can have Tyron Smith. You can have Connor Williams. You can have, you can bring back Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, and Lyle Collins. You can have all of those guys in position, but your decisions can still be the same. And that's what worries me. Your decision on 4th and inches. I don't know if you have all of those guys, would you still try to do the pass? And I know that a lot of people say, well, he was mobbed by the defensive back. CeeDee Lamb was mobbed by the defensive back. I think that sometimes these officials, they be sitting back looking like, man, this sucker done went for a 4th and inch play, and he did a curl route. Man, I'm going to let these boys play. We was looking for somebody to do a quarterback sneak. We was looking for somebody to do a run up the gut. This dude, look, the football gods, if there ever such a thing, say, man, don't blow that whistle. That play is not even worthy for them to be given another chance. Now, on my film session, I did talk about the single-eye safety look, and this is across the board. I love the fact that Dak Prescott was taking advantage of that. When they load in the box, this is what Ezekiel Elliott does. They load the box, they try to stop Ezekiel Elliott, which they've been doing a successful job this year. But on the flip side, our quarterbacks with the S on it, because DiNucci, he can't do it, and Gilbert, he tried to do it. It's when Gilbert probably would have won that game last week. But that's the story of a different day. Or on Thanksgiving. You got to take advantage. When they had the single high safety look one-on-one to the outside, you got to take advantage of that. You do. You flat out gotta take advantage of it. Not flat foot, but you flat out gotta take advantage of it. You do. You got to make them pay. One-on-one to the outside. And I know it sounds so taboo. I know it sounds so Madden-esque. But at least show them that look once a quarter. I should see 4 deep balls once a quarter. Once a quarter. That's 4 quarters, so we should at least see 4 of them when they give you that single high safety look and get them up out that defense. And then that's when you can see your running backs flourish a little bit more, regardless whether it's Tony P or it's Ezekiel Elliott. And Ezekiel Elliott, you got to hold on to that ball. I'm not going to let you off the hook. Got to hold on to the ball. You cannot give the opposition more chances, more and more opportunities. And that's not on coaches, I guess, you know. So I know a lot of people looking at it like, law, no. Well, count this year out. Mike McCarthy, I think he signed like a 3 or 4 year contract. So we'll see next year. Matter of fact, we can extend it. Erase that year. Let him play out his full contract and see what this team can do. Let me know of your thoughts. Let me know how you guys feel about Mike McCarthy. Oh, and other news I heard, and this is just me looking at somebody else's back porch or front porch, however that thing goes. Oh, Carson Wentz, he's not getting the majority of the snaps. It's Jalen Hurts. Maybe it's turmoil all over this NFC East. Let me know of y'all thoughts on that. I didn't read too much into it, but let me know how you guys feel. Matter of fact, I would rather for them to have Carson Wentz out there for the remainder of the year, right? So they can continue to evaluate Carson, right? Don't put Jalen out there. Don't put Jalen Hurts. Cowboy Nation, let me know of your thoughts. Let me know of your concerns, how you guys feel of this team, especially who we should draft. Y'all know I'm team defense all day. Let me know in the comment box, are you with the mindset of going to get the offensive line and revamping that situation? Or are you with the mindset of going out there getting that defensive player? Somehow you trade back a little bit or trade down, however that saying is, and you get multiple picks with the defensive side of the ball. Or BPA, baby, BPA. I like the BPA philosophy, by the way. Let me know. I want to know your thoughts. Oh, and we'll talk about Dak Prescott scenario when the season is over with. Salute. I'm out. Peace.